Hey friends, if this intro looks a little bit familiar, it's because I recorded it 2 times. I recorded the one for the Japanese notebook and I'm recording it for this one as well. In today's video, we're going to be doing the unboxing, I think. I don't know if you can consider it an unboxing, but essentially the setup for my new insert in the Traveler's Notebook system. It's going to be a blank insert. I'm going to be using that as my life archives. We're going to kind of go through that. And yeah, I hope that you enjoy it. For those of you that are new here, I'm Ella. I'm a writer and an artist, and I make YouTube videos on journaling, books, living a creative life, essentially. And yeah, let's go ahead and change POVs, shall we? I just finished recording the setup for this journal, and I'm pretty sure that I will be releasing that video before this one. So this is my Japanese learning video. I just went ahead and put some postcards that I had just received from an unboxing. And that unboxing video, if you would like to see it, it's for the art book for Greta Lusky. That's a Patreon exclusive, so if that's something that you'd be interested, you can go check it out. But I went ahead and just added these two postcards because they fit perfectly. This is a Midori B6 Slim that I decided to get for my Japanese studies, but I'll leave it at that because I do have a full video for this. So go ahead, I'll leave it linked up above. Go ahead and check it out if you want to see the setup for it. It's nice and simple, but it'll be a good time if you want to just body double. But for now, we are gonna do something else. So it's a back-to-back. I essentially have recorded 3 or 4 videos in a row, 2 for Patreon, and then now these 2. But I'm going to be doing a setup for this blank insert. If you've been following my videos, you'll know that I have been doing my memory keeping, or at least transferring my memory keeping and media journaling into this blank insert. And I am still not finished backlogging, so I made the executive decision of setting up a new insert to just start for the new quarter, and that way I won't have to stress out about the fact that the more that I wait on backlogging, the more backlogging I'm going to have to do, and then it's just going to be an eternal thing. So I just decided that I'm going to set up a new blank insert for this quarter, and we'll be good to go. I already have to backlog essentially 2 weeks, but I think that I'm gonna roll with it. Excuse if you hear my cats. It's currently their time to eat, so they're doing that, and you might hear their little the charms on their collars clanking with the plate. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just set this up, and I hope you enjoy it. Let's go ahead and get started with that. Hello, my friends. So this is voiceover Ella. Come and see you live. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so some housekeeping, if you will. I am going to be using a blank TN insert, like from Traveler's Company. The reason that I use it is because I was kind of like anti-grids for a little bit. A little anti-grids, but most of all, it's because I really love the cream paper. And if Traveler's Notebook ever releases a cream grid, that'll be everything to me. You'll never catch me in another insert ever again. Bold words. But I'm saying that with my whole chest. Here you're going to see me adding the cover. So if you saw my Japanese learning notebook, I mentioned that before I decided to get the Midori B6 Slim, I had been using some MD paper that I had with grids to kind of practice some lettering and all that with as I'm learning or relearning hiragana and katakana. And so I had this piece of paper on my desk as I was going to set this up, and really I didn't have another purpose for it. I wasn't going to glue it into my notebook because of the size difference, and when I placed it on top of the insert, it was the perfect size, which makes sense because it's A4, and it is also by Midori. And I was like, okay, this is it. This is perfect. And really something that I think I mentioned it in an Instagram post that has either gone live or will be going live this week, that For me, when I'm decorating my covers, it's a really intuitive process. I don't really ever plan what I'm gonna do ahead of time. I usually just compile a bunch of my supplies, of my ephemera, of my stickers, and sit down and start figuring out what calls to me in that moment and start building element on top of element. And I won't stop until I'm satisfied, but it's really about what I feel in the moment, which is why for me it's like super interesting. You know, I constantly talk about how everything in a sense is a tangible representation of who you are in the moment. So everything is in fact a form of memory keeping. And in this case, I believe that as well. Whenever I look at my covers, they are representations of what was calling to me in that moment, and it's always different. That's why you'll never see one of my covers designed exactly the same way. And I'm sure that it's the same for a lot of you, right? Where you do plan ahead, and that's totally fine. There are definitely moments where I wish I would have planned ahead and had a better idea of how to go about something. But for the most part, it's very intuitive, very in the moment, very this was who I was in this moment in time. And I love that about journaling, about crafting, about art. It's all just representations of who you are. And I'll say it time and time again. But I do hope it doesn't get too repetitive. So yeah, here I am just gluing that down. I'm gonna go ahead and insert some music, and I'll come back a little bit later to kind of just talk through what's happened since my last little check-in. So enjoy the musical break. Random little tidbit, that song ends mad abruptly, so I had to fade it out. Here at this point, I already finished adding the cover, and it's time to decide on stickers. And something that I'm doing, especially with these inserts, is that I am using stickers that I receive from my Patreon memberships for artists that I support on Patreon. And so I am trying to go ahead, and the ones that I don't designate to a different location, because some of the stickers that I tend to get are vinyl stickers. So I will sometimes see if I want to add them onto my laptop or onto some other surface. And if I don't, then I've decided that I'm going to designate them to my respective notebooks that fall within the time frame. In this specific case, for example, that Love Soup Dragon sticker, I actually got that one in January, I believe, and it's going in my Q2 insert, but that's just because I didn't end up using it. I ended up using another 2024 sticker in that first insert, and I didn't want to double up on that. But for the most part, I'm trying to keep it within its own section, but I'm not super tied to that either. Essentially, I'm just using the stickers. It's a way for me to not just hoard stickers and actually use them and see them. And it brings me joy because, you know, I love a lot of these artists, and being able to support them on Patreon is something that I'm really grateful that I can do. And I want to be able to look at these stickers and not just have them hidden away somewhere waiting for their perfect location. Perfect place to put a sticker is where you can enjoy it. So that's kind of like what my motto is this year, just making sure that I use stickers. So this one that I'm sticking on right now, it's from artist Mags Monroe, and I will go ahead and leave all of the artists that I'm using stickers of in the description below if you want to go ahead and check their stuff out or support them via whether that's, you know, subscribing or going on Patreon, whatever that is. But I will make sure to leave them linked down below so that you can check them out. This dragon one is Flesh PNG. I have a few from Leigh Ellickson and Cheyenne Barton, and I think you might see some also from Paloma the Peach. Yeah, Paloma the Peach is over there in the corner. And for example, that cover for my previous insert is by a lot of principles from Aaron Ware's Patreon. So yeah, anyways, I'll leave them down below. But that's kind of like what I'm doing here, just kind of seeing what stickers I have that work in conjunction with that kind of practice Japanese lettering Ghana paper that I'm using in the background. It's so interesting too because I used a lot of springish bright colors in that first insert, and in this one it's very graphic, lots of blacks and reds, so it's just really nice to see. Are there any specific types of stationery or stickers or ephemera that you tend to go towards when you're trying to figure out how to make a spread more cohesive? For me, I tend to like to use washi tapes and dot stickers when I'm trying to, you know, finalize a spread and make sure that everything kind of works together. I tend to like to use washi and dots to kind of fill in the space. And I noticed specifically with washi that I do tend to go towards like this black washi. You can see actually here in this scene that I have both of the inserts there together, that you can see that I've used them in both, and that wasn't on purpose. But now that I see that, I might try and continue to use that black washi in further inserts just to have them all kind of like work together as a collection so that they're not kind of separate. But yeah, I've noticed that when I have like a lot of different types of color, I will try to use that black washi specifically to try and put it all together. And there's not one thing that I've managed to do where that black washi hasn't saved the day. For me, at least, I really like it to bring a spread together. And you can see here, I'm now adding some of the Patreon stickers. I just put down one of Leigh? Why do I keep saying it like that? Leigh Ellickson's sticker. And here I am going back to the cover, and I'm going to end up using this whole sheet for Mags Monroe. This one, I believe, was it was either the February or the March reward. I'm pretty sure it was the March reward. Yeah, absolutely obsessed with it. I'm glad that I was able to use pretty much the whole sheet on this one. Pro tip, if you like to collage or kind of like build on top of things, save your sticker skeletons. I love saving like any interesting ones, I don't really save the white ones, but if it's a color, or for example, this one was from a Flash PNG sticker sheet, I really liked the text style. So I went ahead and saved it for future use, and it's found its home on this insert. I really like just the layering effect that it does. Since it is clear, you can't really see it very much, but it does give just a little bit of more interest to it. So pro tip for you there. So here you'll notice that I'm struggling with this little bit here, and you can't really notice it very much. I mean, you can kind of tell on the recording, but what happened is that it seems that when I glued down this page, there was a section that one didn't get any glue onto it, and two created an air bubble. And so it was causing a weird bending motion to happen with that backside of the insert. And I thought I could live with it, but I really could not. And so eventually you'll see that I fixed that, but I just wanted to explain what that was, because when I was looking back at the footage, I really couldn't notice it. And so I want to just point that out, that that's why I end up performing a surgical uh, procedure on that little part of the insert. But it ends up working just fine. I was able to fix it. And yeah, just continuing to figure out what stickers I want to do. I ended up opening up the insert so that I can get a full view of the spread versus just front and back. I do oftentimes switch between having just a front and back view and then opening it up so that I can make sure that the composition works all together. Even though I'm hardly ever going to be looking at this insert in that way, it's just another way of making sure that everything just kind of looks good at the end of the day. And yeah, just here going through my stickers. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and just do like a little ASMR break now. I'm not gonna put any music, just gonna let this run for a bit, and yeah, just enjoy. Oh, little tippy taps. All I say is that picking stickers is both my favorite part and also probably the part of it that takes me the longest. I decided to keep this footage pretty much real time with minimal cuts so that you guys can see. Most of my journaling sessions take me from, on average, it's about 40 to 45 minutes. I tend to not be able to concentrate for longer periods than that. So it works out to be able to, keep it as real time and less cuts as possible. And I'll keep it at around that time frame so that you guys can use it for body doubling. But yeah, this is really how long it takes me to pick stickers and place them on and all that good stuff. So there you go, inside scoop. Also, apologies for the sound of the vibrations on my phone. I normally set my phone to do not disturb, or I will keep it in my pocket so that it's not vibrating on the desk because it has a really loud vibration. But I guess I didn't notice, and by the time that I had finished recording, it was too late. So my apologies for that. I can't promise with 100% certainty that it won't happen again, but I will continue to try to keep those out of the audio. And we are still looking for stickers, even though I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, that for the most part, that back, or rather, the cover is pretty much done. Now I'm going to be working on the inside, and the inside is really where I have a lot of fun with some of these stickers. I just love stickers. I don't know. What's your favorite? I think I asked this already, but just to reiterate, please let me know what your favorite ephemera is. Whether that's stickers, washies, stamps. Let me know in the comments. I love hearing. I love hearing from you guys. One of my favorite things is when I get the notification that someone left a comment. I used to be, I used to be one of those people that didn't really comment on videos until I started making videos and realized how much joy it brings me to read your comments. So now I try to I try to make an effort to comment on most, if not all, the videos that I watch from other creators within this niche, because it really just brings me so much joy to hear from you guys, to get a reply back from me screaming into the void, so to speak. It's nice. It's nice to have feedback, to know that you guys are enjoying it, that some of what I'm saying is resonating, that it's being received well. I think that I've always been a really shy person, someone who really I struggle to make friends in real life, to put myself out there, and so that was one of the biggest hurdles to starting a YouTube. Even though I feel like introverts and people who are shy can do well on YouTube, because at the end of the day we really are just talking to a screen, but getting that feedback from you guys is just, it's invaluable. So that's my 2 cents. Thank you so much for everyone who has commented, liked, subscribed, for everyone who's here in this community on Instagram, on Patreon. I'm super grateful that you want to hear me talk, and you like the way that I journal and set up these covers and decorate, and just being a part of this community has been so special, and I'm so absolutely grateful. At the time of recording this voiceover, I'm at 670 subscribers, which is absolutely wild and ridiculous that there's so many of you, but I am just, yeah, there's no other word but just full of gratitude for you guys, for being here with me. And on that same vein, I would really love to know if you could leave in the comments what you want to see from me, what other kinds of videos you enjoy watching and you would like me to make. I do a lot of journal with me videos like this, and decorating setups and weekly resets. I do the quarterly check-ins. I also would love to, sprinkle in some book videos if that's something that you guys would be interested, and just general crafting and art related things. But for the most part, I do want to stay within the realm of like stationery and journaling and creating sort of content for body doubling, and then sprinkling in every so often like a week in my journals or a vlog type content, or type video rather. Actually, I do have a week in my journal in the works, and it should be the video that is going to be uploaded after this one. So keep an eye out for that. But I'm thinking, a vlog every month, whether that's a studio vlog, a week in my journals, a month in the life, but like a vloggy sort of video once a month, and then sprinkle throughout our like journal setups and journal with me's. But if there's anything else that you want to see, anything that you want kind of like an explanation for, or tips, or a deep dive, let me know. I would love to hear what you want to see from me, so please do leave that in the comments. Here I'm just gonna go ahead and add the months that this insert is for. This was volume 1, and that's gonna, right now it only has January and the first week of February, because I still haven't finished the backlogging in that. I decided that I'm just gonna, start this new insert and do the backlogging little by little in like spurts. There is also a backlogging video for that archive, actually, for that volume that I'm working on, and that should be out after the vlog, I believe is what the schedule looks like. But yeah, that'll be out in a couple of weeks, and it's a journaling session in this volume 1. But yeah, I'm just gonna take my time with that while being up to date in the TN. So, well, in the TN volume 2 insert. I need to find a way to like consolidate how I name things. So yeah, volume 1, volume 2, this is volume 2. So that little washi tape that I used there was from Greta Lusky's Kickstarter as well. Here you're going to see that I put the title Life Archives and Media Journal onto this notebook as well. And that has changed. On my Patreon for the Sweet Treats tier, I post weekly journal updates. So everyone on my Patreon in that tier has already heard about this, but essentially, I'm no longer going to be using this notebook as a life archives and media journal. I'm going to be using it as a daily logger, which is similar to the life archives situation that I had originally done in the volume 1 insert. But I have decided to add a weekly memo, an undated weekly memo insert for my media journal, similar to how I kept a media journal in the Hobonichi weeks. And then I will do my daily logging, my mundane, amazing, beautiful, lovely daily logging in this journal or in this volume, this insert. And then I have, which those of you on Instagram have already seen, the monthly insert that I had bought earlier in the year and hadn't been using for the last couple of months. I decided to repurpose that, and I'm using that for a sticker a month. So if you would like a video of me kind of like mentioning that and just kind of going through it, I do monthly flips on Patreon, but I can kind of do a separate video where I kind of just explain how the system is working for me. So far, I've been in it at this point for a week, and it's been going really well. It feels really at home to use the horizontal format similar to the Hobonichi weeks for my media journaling, and I think that it's gonna be really really good. This new format, it is a lot of inserts, but again, since it is all within the same traveler system and I can archive it at the end of its life in a same location, for me it feels like it's still one book. So I really don't have any gripes with how many inserts there are. So yeah, that's kind of like the little update. So even though this is being titled Life Archives and Media Journal, it is no longer that. What I noticed was that volume 1 really is like the perfect all-in-one notebook for me, but it only really works in a backfill sense. If I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, it really just doesn't work for me. And so this was the way that I figured I could rectify, I guess is the word. You know, sometimes when we're backfilling, what works doesn't work the same as when you are in the day-to-day. Some systems don't work the same. It's the same, principle of like, I don't know if this happens to any of you, but when I am moving things around the house, I'll make a decision that I'm going to move furniture, to the other side of the apartment, let's say. And I think, oh yeah, that looks beautiful. But as I'm living in the apartment day by day, I might realize that, oh, actually, this doesn't work here because of this thing that I do, right? Like I'm always hitting it, or it's not functional in this location, or actually, maybe it would work better in another place. You don't really know until you do it. So sometimes you have to go through the process of working through a notebook in this sense and realizing, oh, this system works for backfilling, but it doesn't really work for me in the day to day. And that's what happened here. But, no harm, no foul. I'm just adjusting the way that I'm keeping these notebooks, but I'm still very, very, very much in love with volume 1. And yeah, I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to say for this video. I'm gonna go ahead and just end this little journaling session with some music. And thank you so much, as always, for being here, for spending this time with me. I hope that you were able to journal or clean or whatever it was that you needed to do as you were body doubling with me. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.